All right, I'm going to talk you through the changes, blended and remote. So we have definitely totally changed what education looks like, and we are going to figure this out together. So there are some systems that have been put into place. One of them is masks. I mean, it's a world that we live in, and I can tell you the last 2 days being at Sycamore Park, we have about 700 students here. All but 43 came through our doors, and everybody had masks. Kids wore them. They came through the building. Everybody was very, courteous and respectful about it. Kids had them on. And one of the things that our mitigation plan talks about is when you're up, your mask is up. It's pretty much how it is. And so when our students are seated and the teachers are doing instruction and our classrooms are physically distanced 6 feet, kids can take their mask down. They're not going to live in that world of a mask all the time. But when they're up, their mask is up in the hallway, whenever they're moving about. And I was very pleased, and I think our staff took a lot of comfort having the community back in our buildings the last 2 days with our students, that people definitely have a good grasp on masks and what that looks like. I will say that Culpeper has modified their mitigation plan to talk about masks. So if you have the net gaiters that came up over, that is no longer an approved mask due to scientific data, that just the particles and the way that it all is, and we won't get into that, but just know that if that's what your child has, we will give them a different mask when they get here. If you've already bought it, and we completely understand and respect that, we will provide one when they get here. If it has one of the respirators in it, that's another one. Scarves and bandanas, just for scientific reasons, we would switch those out when they get here. Please don't stress about going to the store this weekend and getting something different. We've got you covered for Monday morning. But I definitely want to make sure that you are aware of that minor change. When we're thinking about our remote learners, we have a lot of them. And even our kids that are coming blended, they're still going to be home Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And so when you're thinking about creating that space, create a space where your child can learn. And that's going to look different for all of our families. You know your home, you know what style your child learns best at. If they have a space, whatever it looks like is what you need to do to make sure that they're successful. All the schools passed out physical materials the last 2 days. So you would have gotten workbooks that they're going to be required to use, whether they're in the blended model or the remote model at home. They have Chromebooks, they have chargers. So make sure that their materials are available. So when they sit down to have that meeting with their teacher, that they are prepared, that they have what they need. There's a school supply list out there. Not only do our blended kids who are coming here need supplies, but so do our remote learners. They're going to need to be able to do some tasks that require maybe some crayons or some scissors. Some sort of activities will require physical materials that you'll need to make sure that your child has. If the computer stops working, we gave you a Chromebook yesterday, and sometimes technology can be finicky. Culpeper Schools has a whole tech department that's going to help take care of your needs. There's a phone number you'll call. If you speak Spanish, they're going to transfer you to someone that speaks Spanish. I mean, we are very family friendly here in Culpeper, and we want to do whatever we can to support you in the remote model or the blended model. Real talk, what's it look like when you're at your house? Your workspaces, you decide what that looks like. Some kids are definitely getting into this remote, they want a desk, they want to set it up like a little office space. Whatever it is to make them feel successful and make it feel special is super important. If they have earbuds, if the rest of your family doesn't want to hear third grade math, give them a set of earbuds. You don't have to listen to it. Just to give them that privacy of like, this is my time, this is what I'm doing. And remember that they're potentially streaming into the classroom. So any activity that goes on in your home around that camera would potentially be seen. I think about the anchor that the kids are coming in the room and the wife's coming to get in. It's quite a comedic scene, but just be aware of your child and them participating in class. You're going to hear synchronous learning. And for the people that aren't in the education world, you really don't know what that means. Synchronous is it's happening in the moment. The teacher's in the classroom teaching, it's live teaching. Asynchronous is where it's been recorded and then you're going to watch it. So some of that teaching and remote learning is going to happen in that format. And then make those routines. I know I talked about it earlier, but no matter what kind of learning your child is going to participate in, set a routine, set some expectations, and know that teachers are going to reach out. Teachers are going to contact you. They're going to find out, are you the parent that's working during the day and you're going to mostly do some videos? Are you the parent that's home and wants to have your child log in during the day? Give us some grace and some time to figure those things out, and our teachers time to prepare when people are going to interact and when they're not. We're going to be very, like I said, very family friendly, but it's going to take us a week or two to figure out how to meet the needs of our families. And that's important to us. We want to make sure that all of our students find success, and success might not be at 9 a.m. in the morning, and we're expecting that, but it might be. So please just give us some grace. There's going to be assignments. Kids are going to have to turn things in. School is going to happen, and if it happens at home, there are expectations, but the teachers, I'm confident, are going to have those conversations with your family. And make this special. The first, I hope that even if you're a remote learner, you're home and you snap that first day of school picture. Like, it might be in their jammies and you can post it to social media and we'll all get a good giggle out of it, but make this moment special. Your kids are going to pick up on whatever vibes you have. It's either going to be great or it's going to be awful, but as a parent, you get to set the tone for your kid. You get to make that decision on how this goes. And I hope that you pitch it as the best idea, and we're going to live with it, and we're excited. I'm excited to come back and have students in this building. I'm excited that we've provided families the flexibility to meet their needs for whatever reason it might be, but make this first day and make school continue to be a special moment. And one last thing before I move off of the blended remote, there's expectations and there's reality. So the expectations of what we all expect school to look like, school is different. Our reality is different. So when expectations and reality don't line up, we get disappointment. And I don't want you to be disappointed. I want you to really think about what learning might look like and how it's going to be different. Our reality of what we left March the 12th is very different than what we're going to open August 24th. We have a new reality. So the expectations you might have had for school, they have to change a little bit. And we're all going to change together, but just recognize that our reality is very different than what our prior school experiences were. Anybody else?
I was just going to jump in on that. When we're identifying our kids' fears and they're telling us about their worries or even their disappointments, I think it's important to listen to that, but also follow it with positives. Like, identifying some positives, like even when you're redirecting your kids, you redirect them, but then you're also trying to catch back up with, filling their buckets and things like that. So although we are going to have disappointments and we are going to have lots of challenges to, overcome, there's still good to be found. And shining in on that good, I think it's going to be so important for not only our households, but our kids and our community and our schools, just keeping the positive, because they will feed off of our positive. And, there's always good to be found, and helping our kids find that, I think, is just going to make everything happier.
Agreed, Fallon. That was really good. And also, I know for first day, my little one still loves to pick out her outfit. She is planning that day. And so be a part of that. Be a part of helping them be excited and getting ready for that moment. And I can tell you, in the interventionist role, I don't have a classroom of kids in front of me, but I can tell you there's not one teacher that I have talked to that does not want to do right by every student on their roster, whether that is face-to-face a couple of days a week or remote. We want to make sure your kids get what they need. So communicate. I can't say that enough. We want to make sure that our kids have what they need and that they're able to be successful. And sometimes that takes a lot of communication with their teacher, and we're going to be doing that more than ever.
I have a ninth grader, so starting high school this year. So we've tried to celebrate that in different ways. But as a parent, her English teacher called me, was calling all parents, and that connection and knowing that the school was there was very powerful, whether it comes through an email or how it comes. And then I this year, and I think Mrs. Fiskus said this well, the first day is going to look different. For some of our blended kids, that first day will be remote. And so in our minds, we think really Monday and Thursday are kind of going to be 2 first days. But there's still, even if you're on a B schedule, Thursday, Friday, that first day can be your new outfit in front of the computer. And then you have the other new first day on that Thursday. All right, I will forward this.